request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste and Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
Get ready for a big adventure. Touch a Truck is coming soon. This interactive event lets kids and kids at heart get up close and personal with the trucks, equipment, and vehicles that keep our community moving. Bring the whole family and get ready to climb aboard.
Then join us as we honor freedom and culture at our Juneteenth celebration, happening June 21st at the Westside Theater Guild. Come out for a day of music, remembrance, and community pride.
This is our infant classroom, and you just can't go by without looking at the baby.
We're here to talk about something that truly shapes the future of our city, and that's early childhood education.
All the curriculum is active and excites children about problem solving and learning.
Today, what we were able to witness is the greatness of Gary and the greatness of Head Start coming together.
We know that the success of our children directly influences the success of our city.
In order to create big projects and deliver for Northwest Indiana, we have to have and must have an educational workforce to be able to fill those jobs.
We're laying a foundation for stronger families, a stronger economy, and a stronger Gary, Indiana for generations to come. This isn't just about education. It's about building a stronger community. When we invest in our children, we invest in our community.
Those students who have that early investment or intervention have a greater outcomes to be successful.
Let's celebrate America's birthday, the Gary way. Our 4th of July parade rolls out July 3rd at 5 p.m., bringing excitement, community spirit, and plenty of red, white, and blue to the streets. And don't rush off. After the parade, head over to the Railcat Stadium for fireworks at 6:30 p.m.
Then, gear up for a new school year at our Back to School Fest, hosted by First Lady Crystal Melton and the City of Gary. Join us August 2nd at the Gary Railcat Stadium from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Get ready for free haircuts, free immunizations, free uniform vouchers, and exciting giveaways, from backpacks and sneakers to gift cards and more. Plus, enjoy food, fun activities, music by DJ All Out, and free transportation provided by GPTC. Don't miss this incredible day of preparation and celebration as we send our students back to school in style.
just learned from the city of Gary that they activated their emergency response.
Right now, the trees is the biggest issue. General Services is out moving those trees in the streets. A lot of trees are fell on homes and cars, so it's kind of like a recovery effort right now. So what we do know is that citizens in this neighborhood have identified and verbally articulated they see a tornado that did touch ground in Gary. Multiple homes and businesses sustained wind damage and flooding, as well as numerous trees and limbs down throughout the entire city. Our general service team, we've been working very closely with our utility company, with NIPSCO. We do know that NIPSCO sustained over 13,000 power outages throughout Northwest Indiana.
We're able to do a primary and secondary search on all of the residents and all of the houses in this neighborhood. Everyone is accounted for. We have found no other victims. There are no reports of anybody missing.
And thank God there were no fatalities that we know of at this point. I want to thank the Indiana Department of Transportation. I want to thank the Lake County Commissioner, Lake County Council, from the county, the Red Cross again, the Gary Sanitary District. The Gary Chicago International Airport has provided additional resources and trucks, payloaders to help clean up the debris throughout the entire city. So I want to thank all of our partners and corporate partners. And a special shout out to the Mayor of Hobart, who has also extended his team in Public Works Department to help us eliminate the trees. Be patient with us as we try to address the trees as we clear our main streets and thoroughfares. If you see a power line down, assume that it is live. Assume that it's live. So we want to encourage you all to stay away from down power lines. And also, we want to encourage everyone to seek shelter because, as you can see, the weather is unpredictable right now.
And finally, look to the skies. The Gary Air Show returns August 8th through 10th at the beautiful Marquette Park. Get ready for breathtaking aerial performances along the stunning south shore of Lake Michigan. Admission is free, so bring your family, your friends, and your cameras. There's something for everyone this summer in the city of Gary. For more event details and updates, simply scan the QR code on the screen to sign up for our monthly newsletter.
Good morning. Welcome to the City of Gary Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for June 4th, 2025. May we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That was a significant shift there, Salita. It looked very formal. Can we confirm quorum by roll call, please?
Member Green, Member Allen,
Present.
Secretary Morgan,
Present.
Vice President Dumas,
Present.
President Suggs.
Present.
Mr. President, there are 5 present and 0 absent.
With 5 members present, we have a legal meeting, we have quorum. I'd like to move on to item number 3 on our agenda, the approval of May 28th meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes for May 28th. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Minutes have been approved. Let's move on to item number 4 on our agenda, claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims to be paid on June 6th. General fund is $91,741.16. Special revenues including motor vehicle, highway, local roads and streets, park department, health and human services grant, vehicle auction, opiate grant, court grant, media fund, do-it non-reverting, fleet insurance, park construction and consolidated area TIF is $87,281.49. Public safety, income tax and opera, is $171,900.66. Total to be paid on June 6th is $350,923.31.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for claims to be paid June 6, 2025.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second to pay these claims on June 6. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the motion carries.
We also have ratification of payroll for May 30th. Payroll and withholdings total $2,074,224.96.
I'll entertain a motion for ratification of payroll for May 30th.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor and it has
Second.
been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the ratification of payroll for May 30th has been approved.
That concludes claims.
Item number 5 on our agenda, correspondence and agreements.
Yes, Mr. President, the next correspondence we have is from by way of the Gary Police Department. It is the retirement of a K-9 agreement. The retirement of K-9 Cobra to Corporal Brown, whereas this Cobra has over 5 years of service with the Gary Police Department, and that Corporal Brown is currently the handler and patrol detection officer, protection K-9 named Cobra. And the Gary Police Department desires to retire Cobra, immediately transfer full ownership, liabilities, rights in Cobra to Corporal Brown at no cost. The said agreement acknowledges all the proper documentation has been vetted by the police department. At this time, I would move to approve the retirement of K-9 Cobra to Corporal Brown at no cost. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Motion to retire K-9 Cobra. Any discussion on this motion?
Just about the form of the resolution itself, we just need to replace the signature page with what we currently use versus what was sent over. So that's a minor thing, and we'll do it within like a few minutes after the meeting ends.
Yes. Any additional discussion on this matter? Do we need to restate the motion to include that, or is it just a formality?
It's just a formality. We don't have to redo the motion.
Great. May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the retirement and reassignment of K-9 Cobra has been approved.
Yes, Mr. President. Next correspondence we have by way of also Police Chief Derek Cannon of the Gary Police Department. It is the retirement notice of Patrolman Anita Adamson, CIN 1424. Patrolwoman Adamson began her employment as an police officer for the city of Gary on August 13th, 2001. Totaling 23 years of service, she retired from her position effective May 26, 2025. I move to accept the retirement of Police Patrolman Anita Adamson.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second to approve and accept the retirement of patrol person Anita Adamson after 23 years of service with the city of Gary. Any discussion on this motion?
We thank her for her 23 years of dedicated service to the people of Gary, and we wish her a long and happy retirement.
Any additional comments? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the retirement of patrol person Anita Adamson has been approved, and I concur with my colleague, Ms. Morgan, that we want to congratulate and wish nothing but the best to patrol person Adamson.
Yes, Mr. President. Next correspondence we have is by way of the Public Works Department. It is for residential handicap parking sign new. The following addresses have submitted applications: 341 Johnson Street, 360 Taft Street, 3682 Lincoln Street. All proper documentation has been verified and required fees will be paid upon approval by the board. I move to accept the residential parking sign, handicap parking sign new for those said addresses.
There's a motion on the floor to approve handicap parking signs new. May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the handicap parking sign new for 341 Johnson Street, 360 Taft Street, and 3682 Lincoln Street have been approved.
Yes, Mr. President. The next correspondence we have is by way of the zoning department. The request for architecture design and proposals that should be approved by the board will be issued on June 9th, 2025 and due on June 17th, 2025 at 9 a.m. The City of Gary is seeking architecture design services for renovation of a space in the Hudson and Campbell Sports and Fitness Center located at 455 Massachusetts Street in Gary, Indiana. The purpose of the remodel is to create additional office space for the Gary Health Center to relocate. The renovated space will accommodate traditional office setups along with a couple exam rooms and sinks. The image that will be attached to the documentation gives additional information, and the approximate renovation space is 11,700 square feet. The total project budget is set at $850,000. The project was made available via the ARPA funds. The contract services will be held with the City of Gary and approved by the Board of Public Works and Safety. A notice of the proceed expected in June of 2025 with design completion of October 2025 and construction completed by March of 2026. In addition to the Parks Department offices needs, the Health Center will have the following 5 offices: 1 large conference room that assists or will able to seat or accommodate 30 people, 1 small, 5 to 10 people, 1 nursing stations for 4 people, 6 cubicles, and 3 exam rooms. All additional documentation on where this can be found and information will be submitted to Corey Sharp by June 17th at 9 a.m. and again expected to be read out on June 18th, 10 a.m. at the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting here in City Hall. At this time, I move to approve the RFP for architectural design.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second to approve the RFP for architectural design at the Hudson Campbell Sports and Fitness Center at 455 Massachusetts Street in Gary, Indiana. Any discussion on this motion?
Just have a question. And I did not have an opportunity to check. The $850,000 for ARPA, has anybody confirmed that amount before it goes to advertisement? I didn't think we allowed that much for the health department, but I could be wrong.
I haven't. I believe that was what was passed on to Ms. Sharp via. We gave her a copy of the ordinance, so I believe that was the amount. But we can verify if incorrect. We'll ensure that it's corrected before we put it out.
Any additional questions? Seeing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the motion carries.
We've also got correspondence from the zoning department. This is the Tolliston Planning Hub plat map. DVG, who is the architect or design of record for the Tolliston Opportunity Campus project located at 2700 West 19th Avenue here in the city of Gary, is asking for acceptance from the Board of Public Works, the Plan Commission, on the plat before us, which again is for the Tolliston area, which bordering streets are Taney Place, 15th Avenue, 19th Avenue, and Marshall Street. At this time, I would like to make a motion that we accept the plat map from the zoning department.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second to accept the plat for the Towson Opportunity Campus. Any discussion on this motion?
Just that, I'm not sure, strictly speaking, that they needed this board's approval, but I think we should go ahead and give it to them since they've asked for it, so. I think it's more of a plan commission and BZA issue. So.
You're right. I think we just needed Mr. Suggs' signature on it, and that's the reason why it was brought down here. I could be wrong, but I am just representing the zoning department today. And that's what I was told, that we needed to get the signature from Mr. Suggs.
Okay. Well, then I revise what I'm saying. If they needed the board to authorize the signature,
yes,
then this motion will accomplish that too.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any additional comments on this matter? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas? President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the motion carries.
Next, Mr. President, we have correspondence from the Law Department. First, we have a contract for debris removal with Underground Excavation Solutions Incorporated, located at 6948 West County Road, 1700 South in Wanata, Indiana. So the scope of services are that the contractor agrees to remove garbage, debris, trees, etc. located on or near 890 Chase Street pursuant to the rates outlined in Exhibit 3. The amount not to exceed for these services are $8,938 even. They've agreed to our timely invoicing requirements and other conditions. And the contract is to last from the effective date, which would be today, through December 31st, 2025. So with that, I move that we approve this contract for debris removal with Underground Excavation Solutions for $8,938.
There's a motion on the floor to approve a contract for debris removal. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this matter?
Just that the city and residents of that area who've been driving past that address, that eyesore for a long time, I think will be very happy and relieved that the city is making real progress on getting that site cleaned up.
Thank you. Any additional comments? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the contract for debris removal by underground excavation in the amount of $8,938 has been approved.
Next, Mr. President, we have a contract with J Quad Planning Group LLC to prepare the 2025 through 2029 Consolidated Plan, 2025 Annual Plan, and Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report for the city. This contract, I'm looking for J Quad's address. When I get that, I'll come back to it. But this contract for professional services would include what I just said. They're going to complete our consolidated plan, consolidated annual performance and evaluation report in accordance with current HUD regulations and submission in the HUD IDIS system. The amount not to exceed
$35,870.
Thank you. The project schedule is that they're gonna take approximately 6 months, starting in early June 2025, and completing the CP, AP, and CAPER by September 30, 2025. A revised project schedule will be created and maintained throughout this project upon mutual agreement between the consultant and the client. So with that, I move that we approve this contract with J Quad for $35,870.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the contract between the City of Gary and J Quad Planning Group LLC, 6010 West Spring Creek Parkway, Piano, Texas. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. May we have discussion on this matter?
Just adding that this new company, so in the past, it's been one vendor that or contractor has done this. As always, we put everything out to RFP. This was most responsive bid, has done other work in doing these projects for HUD, and was also confirmed with HUD that they are a credible vendor to do this work.
Any additional comments? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
President, the vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the contract between the City of Gary and J Quad Planning Group in the amount not to exceed $35,870 has been approved.
Next, Mr. President, we have a contract for home repair services for our Community Development Department with Rerix Heating and Cooling Incorporated, which has an address of 8762 Louisiana Street, Suite P in Maryville. The scope of the work under this contract is the contract shall replace the furnace at 3909 Polk Street in Gary. Contract also incorporates, we included the necessary paperwork from the city. The contract provides a 2-year workmanship warranty. The amount not to exceed is $3,541. The term of the contract is from the effective date, which is today, through July 7, 2025, but it's subject to an extension or earlier termination as herein provided. So with that, I move that we approve the contract with Rerix Heating and Cooling Incorporated to replace the furnace at 3909 Polk Street in Gary.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the contract with the City of Gary and Rerix Heating and Cooling. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion?
I just wanted to note that when reading the documentation, and I don't know if community development can speak to it, but it was something in the language in which I know it's an emergency repair to get that situation resolved with the furnace for the resident, but it doesn't ultimately fix the problem, is what the contractor said. It's just a temporary fix. The contractor recommended that it be replaced. I don't know if you can add anything in regards to it. I know it's an emergency situation. They don't have a furnace at all, so I understand this is the lower of the two options, and that's what the program is designed to do, which is help citizens with fixed income in an emergency situation. So I just want to make sure we note that.
Are you aware of what else is required for?
It says it on the back of the contract. When I was going through the paperwork, the contractor noted emergency replacement of the furnaces due to it's a carbon monoxide leak, which is what the urgency is when the furnace is turned on. This repair will not fix the leak, it just needs to be replaced. And so the $3,541 was still, from my understanding, not necessarily a full replacement. And I guess that was my concern, is that I know we're just trying to make sure there's no danger to the citizen.
Well, maybe we could have somebody from upstairs with knowledge come down and talk to it, because I hate for us to spend that much money and the senior citizen is still in danger, and maybe we could refer them to township or something where perhaps they can get up money to fix the problem, because if their life is in danger, what's the good in putting a furnace in there,
Well, I guess
June and July.
I agree. Totally agree with you. It makes that's what my concern was, is that it doesn't spell out that we're actually replacing. I don't know. I mean, when I replaced the furnace, it cost way more than $3,000, so I wouldn't make the assumption that it's not being replaced. It just doesn't spell out anywhere in the scope of work.
The carbon monoxide, the life-threatening thing is going to be fixed, and it is summer, so it's not quite as urgent as replacing a furnace in January.
Well, I do want to say, if the board would appease, I would like to go ahead and still approve it with the contingency that, or with the understanding that we'll ask that very critical question, because maybe they did include a majority of the cost, or there's a supplemental cost, or that someone else is covering, because it is again emergent, and we're trying to get them not to authorize work prior to this board's approval.
Right.
So because they're taking that step, I know we're already behind the buck on this particular case. So I would like, if it's okay, the board approve it. But if it's not, then I would take it personally to have that conversation with the department head to make sure that it doesn't go forth if it's not going to solve the problem.
Can we, my suggestion is we have this department come before the board or give us something in writing by the next meeting that explains how the entire thing is gonna be resolved, and whether the city's paying to fix the carbon monoxide leak, or if other resources have been secured for this senior citizen to fix that, to make sure their life is not in danger, they can actually live in their house.
I'm okay with that. Just want to make sure we approve it just in case, because if it does, then I want them to go ahead and start on the work. If it say, hey, yes, we're only asking for $3,000 for community development, and the trustees already replacing the other $3,000, then it solves the problem.
So I'm gonna do a secondary motion. My motion is that I move that we require the community development either provide a detailed response in writing before our next meeting, or come before this board at our next meeting to explain what the total solution is in detail for 3909 Polk Street and the carbon monoxide leak.
Second.
So it's been moved and properly seconded. We are doing in the motion you cited, General Counsel.
It's a secondary motion to this contract that community development is required to either provide a detailed overview in writing of how they're fixing or helping to have the carbon monoxide leak fixed at this address, or they have to come before this board at the next meeting and explain it to the board in detail on the record.
And you're gonna have to excuse my Robert rules, but we had already just approved a motion, or just it was on the floor for discussion. Should we complete that before we do?
You should do the first motion and then my secondary motion. The vote for the first motion, and then vote on the secondary motion, which is related to the first one.
Thank you. May we have roll call for the first motion, and that is to approve the repair at the Polk Street address.
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
With the vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the motion has carried, and now we have a secondary motion that will be articulated. We're gonna do the secondary? The secondary?
Yeah.
Would you repeat it just so I get it?
Well, actually, before we take the vote, I think the department head just came in, breathing heavy. Thank you so much for coming down. We were talking about the emergency repair for the furnace, and I know it noted on there at the very end that that because of the carbon monoxide leak, the repair would not fix the leak, and so we just wanted to make sure that the 3,500 that's being approved is actually going to bigger solve the problem of this person. That's all.
Yeah, it's gonna actually fix the issue that's causing the leak.
Okay.
So I don't know why it's worded like that, but yeah, it's gonna fix the issue. One of the wires that's connecting the furnace to the gas line has a hole. So yes.
So.
Yes.
So it will replace the furnace.
Yes.
Okay.
So 3,500 did it. So we don't need the second motion.
So I would like to retract.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm retracting my secondary motion.
Motion has been retracted, and we have a approved motion for the replacement repair.
Yep. Okay, so next we have a contract for professional services with the Center for Workforce Innovations Incorporated, where the city wants to retain the services of a duly qualified vendor to assist the city to develop and run our summer employment program, which would provide work-based learning opportunities for 30 Gary youth or high school seniors this summer for summer 2025. And where CWI was the most responsive party that responded to the city's request for quotes for this service. The services they will provide are as follows. CWI agrees to provide services set forth in the proposal attached as Exhibit A. The agreement incorporates the city's proposal setting forth the services. I'm sorry, CWI's proposal setting forth the services. The request for review, and I won't go over all the minute details of this, but the compensation under this contract is $85,378.10. The term of the contract is June 2nd, 2025 through September 31st, 2025. So with that, I move that we approve this contract with the Center for Workforce Innovation to administer the city's summer employment program for 2025.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the contract between the City of Gary and the Center for Workforce Innovation. May I have a second?
Second.
We moved and properly second. Any discussion on this matter?
Mr. President, just a little additional information. This program will consist of 4 phases, and the first phase is where they actually do the recruitment with Westside Leadership, Theo Bowman, Lighthouse, and 21st Century. That is the outreach part. The second phase is where they actually select the students and they survey their interests in order to match them with an employer. The third phase is where they actually start their employment experience, working 25 hours a week for 8 weeks at $15 an hour. And the final phase is the end of the program. They evaluate those students who are not interested in secondary education but going into full-time employment to try and assist them with employment.
Thank you. Any additional comments?
Just to anticipate the question that people have stopped and asked, I'm sure all of us, is how does one get their high school senior involved in this program? And I believe the answer is they need to reach out to the Center for Workforce Innovations to start the process.
Just for the record, I will be recusing myself from this. I serve as the president for Center for Workforce Innovations Board, and so therefore I should not vote.
Okay.
May we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yeah. Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Thank you, President Suggs. Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 1 abstention.
With 4 yes and 1 abstention, the motion carries. Contract has been approved.
Mr. President, that concludes correspondence from the Law Department.
Thank you. Want to move on in our agenda for unfinished business. Item number 6 on our agenda.
Yeah, Mr. President, approximately a month ago, we had the Health Department here for grants that they were asking us to pass. And we asked for information related to the mobile mental health program. I don't think we ever got those answers. I don't remember getting those answers. Me and Ms. Green had questions as other board members. So I would just like to renew that request for information about, you know, what are the monies that the city has given actually done.
This was
like,
the mobile mental health contract with
Edgewater.
I thought we received the responses back and did approve it the following week. They had shared that there were 2 Edgewater contracts. One was for one demographic and the other was for a different demographic, and therefore they weren't conflicting.
Okay,
approvals.
but we also asked about the number of people served and those kind of things. I don't remember getting those details.
Unfortunately, I don't remember the question and definitely didn't receive the details.
Okay, so
should we just?
What I'll do in my capacity with the law department is ask for details in writing.
Yes.
And then if we don't have them by the next meeting, then I'm going to ask this board to that we formally get details about number of Gary residents served and that kind of thing from them. Because we got some information, but not the level of detail that we were asking.
No, I'm in total agreement.
Okay.
Any other unfinished business for the board? Is there any new business to go before this board? Mr. Monitor, are there any public comments in queue online?
No.
I see a name on our list here for public comments. Ebony? Ebony. Ebony. Please.
Good morning, everyone. This is my second time here. I have been at this about an open air permit since about February. And I'm just having trouble receiving an answer as far as what clearly discriminates me from being able to obtain Marquette Park or any park on the west side. I was offered 39th and Vermont, and I have repeatedly told the board and everyone that has offered me 39th and Vermont that it is very dangerous over there. That's why the park is not utilized at this point. Kids don't play at that park that live in that vicinity. So I was just wondering why it's comfortable for me to have 39th and Vermont with you guys having that information, but it's not an option for me to have somewhere that I feel is safe for a group of people. I have received cease and desist letters for up another space and field that I found that I called the assessor office first, and they said that this site should be fine, so I openly promoted it. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm trying to go by the book, and I'm having a hard time getting any type of solid answer on something that's comfortable for everybody all across the board, as far as you guys and me as well. I've put in the applications, I've made the phone calls, I've talked to almost everyone sitting at this table. It is becoming frustrating and discouraging. I'm losing faith in my council. It's just bad for me, and it's bad for my event and all the things that the Prevent provides. And if you're not aware of that, my Prevent provides promotion and sales for local people who have their own businesses. They make good money at the event. I do a fundraiser for kids for back to school at that event. And I currently worked on expanding that this year, but I'm not able to send out my letters that I need to send out for help because I'm not sure if I'm going to have a 5-hour event to even raise the money to meet them halfway. So I'm just really at a standstill at this point, and I'm asking you guys work with me and not against me, because I have had a peaceful event for 2 years, and this year has just been the ultimate struggle.
Just to address the cease and desist letter that you got from the law department, the city discovered that your organization had put out flyers to have your event at North Gleason Park, which is city property, and there had been no application requesting that. The city had not given permission to use that property for the event. Certain departments felt like it was a public safety concern to have it at the event, and plus you circumvented the city's process. Now the city had decided that Howell Park would be suitable for your event. I know you disagreed with that, but that was the city's offer in response to your public information, your open air application once the city considered all the factors. So we understand that you're disappointed, but two things. The city has to serve all our residents, and we have to factor in things that I'm not gonna go into vast detail about all the factors we have to take into consideration when the city makes any decision. You didn't think Howell Park is suitable. The city believes that it is suitable for the event, but you can't, just like I can't decide to just go have an event at your house without your permission. Folks cannot just decide, well, I don't like what the city's offered, so I'm gonna pick another city-owned location and just hold my event there. So that's why you got that cease and desist letter. Other than that, the offer remains open. Although we're past the deadline that was provided to you, the offer remains open for you to use Howell Park for that event. And That's all I have to say on behalf of the law department.
I would like for you to answer, why do you feel it's okay for that to be the only offer if I have a lot of proof that it's not safe?
So yeah, that's true.
And also, can I please receive a reason why why Brunswick? I have been asking that for months. Why is Brunswick not an option?
Thank you for your comments. I don't have anything more in response to that.
Ms. Appley, I'm sorry. So in regards to public comment, we try our best to be as suitable as possible, but in public comment, it's not to be intended for a back and forth. It is truly to fit. You can state any comments, voice any concerns. If we're able to help them, our full goal is to try to help you.
My concern is that I'm not receiving a reason why the park is not available.
Totally understand. So I just wanted to make sure I make that clear. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good day.
Any additional person present want to speak before the board? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your
Did you know the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth